Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming back to my lecture series on taking control of language impairment after a stroke and brain injury. Today, we're going to be focusing on the good stuff, word finding strategies. So we're going to talk about different techniques that you can use to help remember a word when it's on the tip of your tongue and just can't remember that word you want to say. And my name is Liz. I'm the owner and speech language pathologist at Healthy Speech Solutions. I specialize in online speech therapy care in North Carolina and Florida. So first, we're going to talk about, you know me by now, I like my anatomy physiology. This is the why behind the strategy. So we're going to be talking about describing objects, and I want you to understand why that technique is going to be able to help you. So I want you to imagine that you're looking at this beautiful flower, but you can't remember the word you want to say is flower, and you're feeling frustrated. And of course, when you're feeling frustrated, you're going to get anxious, stressed out, and it's going to make it even harder and more frustrating for you because you're not going to remember the word to say. There's a lot of research out there that shows that stress, sleep deprivation can actually make it harder for you to remember words that you want to say. Random fact. So you're looking at this beautiful, beautiful flower. And this part of the memory, the back of the brain, the occipital lobe is triggered. This is where your vision is located. You're looking at this beautiful red and yellowish, goldish colored flower. I think it's a sunflower. It's my favorite flower. And what do you want to do? You want to touch this flower. Another part of your brain is triggered, the touch sense in your brain. So now you've had two parts of your brain has been activated, experiencing this beautiful flower. Next, you want to hear the breeze swaying through the flower. You want to maybe taste it. You never know. Maybe it's an edible flower you can have. You want to smell it. Oh, it smells so good. And look, you had a third part of your brain has been activated to be able to hear, to taste, to smell, to touch, to vision, to be able to see it. And all around the brain because you're activating it, your brain because you're experiencing this flower. And then you bring it to the nose, again, like I said before, you smell it. And now you're feeling emotional about this incredible moment. Incredible. It's like, wow, this is the most beautiful sunflower that I've ever seen. And I want to remember this moment forever. So now take a look at your brain and look at all the different parts of your brain that's been activated, trying to think about and experience this beautiful flower. So this is why this technique I'm about to show you is about to help you. So I want you to be able to describe the word, describe the word, describe the word. That's what matters. That's going to help you remember the word, because remember, when you're experiencing the word, different parts of your brain is activated. And the more parts of your brain is activated, it's going to help you remember the word that you actually do want to say when you're describing it. Kind of cool, right? I think it is. So when you're describing it, you're manipulating the object. Like with this flower, you're smelling it, you're tasting because it's edible. You never know. You know, you're looking at it, and it's going to help you remember the word you want to say. Also, if it doesn't help you remember the word you want to say, it'll help other people guess the word that you're trying to say, because you never want to have someone tell you what you're trying to say. If you're anything like me, I'm an independent woman, and I want to be able to express how I'm feeling. So this technique will also help with that. So the first one is, what does it look like? So you're going to look at this flower. This sunflower here is obviously it's zoomed in. It's a very big flower that we have here, zoomed in flower. But we have flowers that are very tiny in size. We can have some flowers that are just humongous. So when we talk about what does it look like, you got to be specific. So the scenario is you want to tell someone about this beautiful flower you had. So they're thinking, okay, you don't know what the word is, flower, and they have no idea what you're trying to talk about. But you could help them guess the type of flower you want to say by saying it's one of those bigger flowers, because suddenly they'll think about all the flowers that are big. Or you could say it's a very small flower. It's kind of like a tulip. Oh, it's a rose. It's a small flower. And it all triggered from you talking about the word small. Kind of cool. Another one is we can talk about also what does it look like, the shape. So many different flowers have shapes. We have a fluffy circular flower. We have a flower that looks like a heart. We have a flower that's more long, and then the inside of it is more like a star shape inside of the flower. And then, of course, we have the sunflower that's more of a circular shape, and it's a flatter circular shape. And this is a fluffier circular shape. So all these different adjectives that you're using to describe the shape can help someone guess the exact flower you're talking about. And it's also going to help you trigger the word, because remember, you're activating different parts of your brain to help you communicate. So what does it look like? Another one is color. Every flower has different types of colors. So we could talk about, oh, this flower I'm thinking of, I can't remember the name, it's on the tip of my tongue. There's red in it, there's some yellow goldish color, and the inside of it is a dark brown. Oh, it's a decorative sunflower. Or you could talk about it's a fluffy, or in this sense, a color. It's a little yellow in it. I think it has a little pink inside the flower. Or you could talk about there's so many different types of the colors of this flower. I think I've seen it in yellow and blue and purple and pink, and I've seen all these different colors. So someone's going to think to themselves, okay, the flower they're talking about comes in different kind of colors, or this flower is always pink. So it'll help them maybe guess what type of flower you're talking about, and it'll help you trigger a memory, the type of flower you want to say, a sunflower or a daisy or a rose or a tulip, which is a more specific word, which can be harder to remember. Last suggestion for today. What does it look like? Break apart the object or the activity you're trying to describe. So instead of just talking about the shape and the size, maybe it could help you to talk about the parts. So in this particular circumstance, we're talking about a flower because you're trying to remember flower. You could talk about the stem. You can talk about the leaves that are on the flower and the roots and the pretty petals on the outside of the flower. These are all different parts of what makes up a flower. So if you don't want to talk about the size and the shape, then you're talking about different parts of it. Another example could be you're trying to talk about a chair. You could talk about the leg that's attached to the chair to help you describe the word chair. So this would look in terms of you're talking to someone, you have this beautiful flower you're looking at, or I'm sorry, you're thinking about a beautiful flower and you want to relive that moment with someone that you love and care about. And it would look like this. Okay, I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to get it out. But it's beautiful. It's round, it's flat, it's round. When I remember it, it had some red, it had some yellow in it. It was a very big flower. Or, well, I just gave it away. Oh, wait, I just said the word flower. And next thing you know, you just said the word flower, which is pretty cool because that's not the word, or so you wanted to say the word flower, but you couldn't remember the word you wanted to say. But because you activated all of these different parts of your brain, next thing you know, it helped you remember the target word you want to say was flower. Kind of cool. So don't focus on finding the exact word. Like in this circumstance, add a comma. Spend 45 minutes obsessing over this comma, and then you remove the comma. Who cares about the comma? In this particular circumstance, who cares if you don't know the exact word you want to say? It's okay. Because by focusing on similes or antonyms, so words that are similar, words that are opposite, kind of that kind of thing, focusing on characteristic describing it, you're still able to communicate your wants and needs, which is what at the end of the day is what matters most. People are able to guess what you want to say. And you know what? When you're not obsessing over the exact word, you might surprise yourself and be able to actually remember the word you want to say when you're not trying to. It's kind of cool. So again, thank you so much for attending my lecture series today, learning about word finding strategies. Please keep an eye out for my next lecture in this series, and it's going to be also kind of a part 2 on word finding strategies, other ways that you can describe your words to help you say the word that you want to say. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.